Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Commodities Update video. And today we'll be looking at natural gas, UNG, oil, US dollar, gold, and silver. We're looking at their technical analysis and support resistance levels, as well as the most likely scenario price we're heading into later next week. And if you guys learn anything, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. They're always appreciated. And let's get started. So we are looking at natural gas on the daily time frame. And a lot of you guys say that you guys' chart don't look like mine. You just got to click the BADJ adjusted chart. You can see when I uncheck it, you can see all the contract gaps for the futures rollover stuff. And when you click that B adjusted chart, it closes all the gaps. So we don't see any of those contract rollover gaps on the chart. Both of the chart matters, but I like to look at the adjusted one a little bit more for myself. So let's take a look. And all right, so last week I talked about Bull's last hope was this is a bear break, lacking follow through, and we bounce on Monday, and we did. So that was nice. And looks like when we came back up to this 2.14 resistance, bears decided to play defense and take it lower again. And the good thing is that we are seeing bears are actually getting exhausted here. So you can see on Wednesday, we made a higher low, meaning this low on Wednesday is slightly higher than Friday's low. You can see Friday's low was 1.909 and Wednesday's low is 1.913. So that's a higher low. Some people call it a double bottom, but the idea and psychology behind this is bears are getting exhausted. Otherwise, they would have broken through this low and take it lower and breaking down from this looking picture falling wedge for me. You can see it goes all the way back here. Support, support, support. Slight bear break, lack of follow through. Support, 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 support. And you can see the resistance over here. So big picture falling wedge, we're still technically kind of in it. We had a slight bear break, lack of follow through twice. And now we have a bull break, but I don't call this convincing yet. I want to see another leg up above it because this could just come all the way back down, just like, down here, we can come all the way back up. So another leg up, then I would say, all right, we broke it out of it bull. But let's see what Monday will bring us. But as of now, we're looking good. So if we call this a higher low here, then that means we have a daily uptrend, right? Initial move, big pullback. This low is higher than the prior low, and we broke above the prior high. So that's a daily uptrend confirmed. If we call it a double bottom, then it's just one initial move. And ideally, I want to see one more leg up, and then we pull back slightly. Let's say we get another leg up to closer to like 0.189, and then we're slightly a little bit overbought in the shorter term time frame, so we need to cool down a little bit. So we have a slight pullback, and then we form that daily higher low, and then we head up a little bit higher. That would be a clear daily uptrend for me, and it would shape up the inverse head and shoulders. This is the left shoulder, and this is the head. And if we just come up slightly, we don't have to come all the way down here. It doesn't have to be a picture perfect like inverse head and shoulders like this or something. The idea of it's an uptrend. It's in a downtrend into an uptrend. So that's the psychology of the inverse head and shoulders. And then we'll get a slight pullback, and then we break that neckline and head higher. We're looking at 2.25 for me if that happens. So 2.25 is a major resistance we have rejected from 1, 2, and another 5 times here. Let me move my lines a little bit. Sometimes the trading view just moves my line. But anyways, the idea we get it. There's resistance over here. You can see these 5 days we couldn't get over it. Quadruple top here, another 2 times over here. So that's my next level I'm looking at. If we break out of this range higher, and that's the major resistance there. Also come up here, form that pull back a little bit, and that higher low again and head higher, but a little bit. Let's see. Wait, I don't think we'll blast through that from here if we're already up 11%. Yeah, it needs a little bit of cool down, but if we go all the way up to there on Monday, I'm definitely taking profit because we're probably going to get a slight pullback. Then I'll just add it right back. is if we just go through 17% of move in 3 days, yeah, and then we definitely need a little bit of cool down. But if we, bounce a little bit, cool off a little bit, or sideways, then go, then that's um, we are seeing some bearish options over here. Definitely, you guys can see we never really had any of those double bottom along the way. Kind of just bounce, and then we had a lower low, breaking that prior low again, and then nice little flag, and then came down. We broke the prior low again, bounce again, broke the prior low again, and only this time you can see we held it. So that was just an initial slight green flag for me that made me want to get in on Thursday. You guys saw me in the last video where I talked about I got in on Thursday here, and my entry wasn't great. I was playing the stock market. I was playing Qs, and then I looked over. I was like, oh, nice bounce, and we're setting these double bottoms, and we're close to the lower range of this falling wedge, and I'm interested. So I started a position. You can see my Discord here. I started a small sides at 13.5, and I don't post that often, but you guys can join. It's all free. You guys can come to the main trading floor and just chat and hang out, talk about stocks or whatever, commodities, all free. And so I added there, and which is close to like 2.025. Sometimes I play the futures, sometimes I just add stocks, just depends. And yeah, so I held this. I'm still holding it because let's see, smaller size starter position. So I got this entire move, and I might add more if we bounce back up and we come back test this falling wedge resistance, and now back, if it acts as support, now it flips, and then we bounce, and I might start adding here, and beef up my position a little bit, and potentially look for that 2.271 as my first target here. That's what I would be looking for. We'll see what next week brings, but as of now, bulls are looking good. Slight increase in bull volume, so that's a good sign, and we pretty much close at the high of its day, and it's looking like we're having an hourly bull flag too. You can see big move up, and just kind of flagging here. So if we can break that hourly bull flag, be nice. But we are kind of a little bit extended on the hourly. So even if we start pulling back, consolidate like this, that'll be a green flag, and it's just a slight pullback, cool things off a little bit for the next move up, or we may get a big pullback just to cool things off a little bit and head higher. We'll see. 4-hour is a little bit extended too as well, so we might ideally. The best case scenario is we see it like a sideways action, kind of like this. Just this slight pullback, sideways action, just cool everything off, and then head another leg up. But we'll see how the bulls will give us that move, how bears will play defense or not, or just a longer. If it is a longer term bottom, then maybe we'll get a bigger move up. See if we could break this 2.26, then we'll be looking at 2.45, but that's still a long ways away. So we'll take it one step at a time, and we'll see. Maybe we'll form that inverse head and shoulders here as well. Let's see, get in a slight leg up tomorrow, Monday, and then pull back a little bit from that right shoulder, and then we break the neckline. Then we can test this 2.27. So a inverse head and shoulders pretty much is a downtrend into an uptrend, just the psychology of it. We don't need a picture perfect inverse head and shoulders where we need to come all the way down here to the same spot and then bounce. It's a uptrend into a downtrend. So we'll see. Yeah, today was just a much longer part for natural gas, but you guys can skip to whatever one you want to look at. I have all the timestamps in the comments. So let's take a look at UNG. So UNG holding a little bit better. You can see this quadruple bottom as well down here, and bounced. Now we're testing this 1.15.73, which is this resistance over here. Resistance. So yeah, so if you get that little leg up, bull break out of the falling wedge from that gas. I wouldn't count this as a bull break yet. We're just kind of like literally right on it, slightly kind of higher, but it's just same thing as down here. It's a bear break, lacking follow through, but I want to see another leg up for call it that a bull break out of the falling wedge. Another leg up, this will break above. We're probably looking at this $16.19 level for UNG, and we will see where it goes. Now it's looking decent. Yeah, solid chop. You can see this whole chop here. We need to resolve that. So if we can get over $16 and above, finally above the 16.1, then we're up. We're higher than this entire chop, so that's a good sign. Bulls. One more leg up, come back, act as support, and then boom, rocket. That would be the best case scenario bulls can hope for. And yeah, let's see if we get it. Increasing bull volume as well, looking good. If that happens, then this could potentially be a longer term bottom actually. Yes, but still a ton of work for bulls to do. We need to shape up a weekly uptrend as well. But they got the first step. Playing some defense and then some offense. You guys know where I talk about bulls always play defense and they don't do any offense, right? They try to like bounce a little bit and there's just all defense. This time, they play defense at a good spot where they form the double bottom and have 2 days of offense. So let's see if they can actually do a little bit more. This is the first time we see them kind of have a little bit of follow through, right? You can see all of these small green candles with lack of anything really on the whole way down. So this is only the first time they really done much. All right, let's take a look at, let's see. So let's see if we can get that next leg up for UNG and natural gas next week. And if you guys like to support the channel, feel free to check out the Patreon link and in the comments below, or just click the join button on YouTube. Or if you guys need coaching, how to look for better entries, how to be more consistent, how to resolve your emotions, all that kind of stuff, check out the Patreon link or book the 15-minute free call. And it's all free. For 15-minute free call, you guys can chat with me about your issues, all that kind of stuff. All right, let's keep going. So oil, we are looking at similar idea. Talked about this on Thursday, where we have a daily downtrend confirmed. Big move down. Talked about where when we do bounce, there's a lot of room for bears to confirm the daily downtrend due to the size of this drop. And then we confirmed it right there when we broke that low. And you can see even we broke that low on Wednesday here, right? Right. And we kind of tested, came back up, back tested, tried to see if we will get above it. Nope. Bears took it back down, closed down there. So that's a sign that there is more downside when that happens. Because we open here 77.37, right? And you can see the price came back up to this 78.38, meaning we're back above this pivot low. And I said, nope, we're going to take this lower and end up closing all the way down here. That's what this candle is. So that shows that there is more downside, especially when we get opened below here and came back test and came lower. You got 2 more days of follow through, came back all the way down to 75, just prior resistance. Now acting as support. So we have some support here as well and resistance. So yeah, so we'll see if this even bounces here because we pretty much closed out low of the day. No signs of bounce even on the short-term time frame because you can just see if it closes low of the day, even the 5-minute time frame will have no bounce. If we break that, I'm looking at this maroon looking line, which is the longer term breakout zone. See, this big triangle wedge is support. This big triangle was a resistance. Rejection, and we finally broke out of it. You can see 2 more rejections here, and then we finally broke out of it, back tested, boom, rocket ship when we back test and bounced. So here, when we do come back down, I would like to see at least a slight bounce, act as support. And if it's a weak bounce, then probably gonna break through that. But even if it's a strong bounce, then we have room for bulls to potentially shape up the trend back up. But as of now, 0 signs of any bulls at this given moment. And we'll see. Because when we do come down to here, it'll likely be daily oversold as well. And we'll see if that can mark the lows and maybe bounce. But if we get a weak bounce, it's still gonna be a daily bear flag. We will monitor it when it bounces and see how it bounces. All right, let me take a look at this time. 15 minutes. All right, so dollar is shaping up to look like that big equilibrium that I talked about on the weekly. Big move up, big move down, big move up, and we're shaping up that big move down now. So in equilibrium is a tiny range where the next move is going to be within the prior move. You can see all these moves. This drop is within the prior bounce, and you can see this bounce is within the prior drop. So the move gets smaller and smaller. And it's looking like we might start to shape this down to bubbles. Do we shape the daily downtrend? Not yet. So big enough drop now. Let's see if the bears can confirm a daily downtrend. On the next bounce, as we get a slight bounce on Monday or Tuesday, can the bears break Friday's low? If they do that, then a weekly pivot. This pivot is set for the weekly trend. Not yet. Bulls can still save this, but not as likely. So we'll see. But if that daily downtrend confirms, then the weekly pivot being set, then there's likely more chance of that equilibrium forming to a lower level. See? All right, take a look at gold. Gold, absolutely nothing changed. Another inside bar rejecting from 12 EMA. So I think we were talking about this Thursday, where this teal looking line now is acting as resistance. It's acting as support on the way up. You can see now just rejecting it the last 3 days, but we're not really making any new lows here. We did poke through it, but zero follow through. Dollar was weak, so it kind of helped a little bit. Metals, and then we just pretty much closed right smack back in the middle of the range. Yeah, still same idea. Whichever way this range breaks, it's going to be the winner here. But all right, silver, exactly the same idea. Silver just smack right in the middle here, but definitely weaker compared to in the last on the drop here. You can see a much bigger drop and confirming daily downtrends as well. But when it's down here, it's similar to the last 3 days with gold. And 26.77 is acting as resistance. You can see our support bounce now acting as resistance because price is under it. And our support is 25.9. I want to see it break this. See, this is pretty much acting as support, right? See these upper wicks, it's pretty much the same price as this lower wicks. So these levels are acting as currently act as support. So if we do flush through that, I'm looking back at the black line acting as support. That was the prior breakout of this big wedge as well. Similar idea to oil. We had that big wedge breakout. Now it's a bit close back to it. So if that happens, break 25.8, I'm looking back at potentially bouncing down here. But if we break out of this above 26.7, then we're looking back up this structure right there, 27.4. That's all I got for you guys. Have a great rest of you guys' weekend. And feel free to comment below if you guys have any questions, or come join the Discord link or Patreon. And feel free to message me if you guys are on Patreon and or any questions there. All right. Take care.